Anybody that drives down the road, one of the first things they look at when you come to gas stations, convenience stores, what's the price of gas? So we're going to talk about energy today on our Allied Cooperative Program with Isaac Brown, Certified Energy Specialist with Allied Cooperative. And Isaac, as we get further and further into the summer season, this week we're finally getting temperatures that are going to be in the 80s and 90s, and I know it's not on people's minds right now, but it's probably not a bad idea to start thinking about filling up that LP tank for the winter.
Absolutely, Bob. Yeah, we've definitely seen an uptick in customers calling. Everybody kind of knows that July, August time frame is a good time to get that tank filled up. We see typically our seasonal lows, and that does not seem to be, it hasn't bucked the trend this year. So we're seeing that right now. And a lot of folks calling in, and we agree that right now we're probably seeing the best prices to get those tanks summer filled.
And now's a good time, too, for availability. When it gets to be later in the fall, the folks that fill those tanks might be kind of busy with other things, with crops and things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. We like to make sure that we get our customers' storage inventory as full as possible going into the season. It really helps us here at the cooperative and allocate for this winter. So kind of, I'm assuming what you're alluding to as well is contracting. That's massive for us at the co-op. Our ability to no money down contract for a lot of those big commercial users and stuff, enabling them to secure gallons in a way that's really going to be equitable for them going forward. So it enables us to put money down and get the terminals all allocated for us. So we don't have to worry about, a polar vortex type year where we're running short on gas. So one of our big advantages there, knowing what you've got on hand right now and estimating what you're going to use throughout, the crop drying season, along with the, just typical winter demand.
As we look at this time of the year, Isaac, and as you said, July and August, a good time to be doing those fill-ups. As we look at contracts, have traditionally, as we look to lock it in at a contract price, this traditionally been the best time of the year to get the best prices?
Yeah, so basically what we see as a co-op is we take a strategy to make sure that we secure all the gallons throughout the season. So a lot of folks don't realize it, but we see those futures lows hit at different times throughout the year. So we utilize a lot of hedging and different resources from some of our larger cooperatives, CHS being one of them. And they kind of give us the best strategy. So what we see is, we get those lows, and we're going to buy gallons to make sure that we get the best price. And then when it comes to pulling those gallons, June, July, August, those are the best times for us to get folks the gas that they need. We kind of see that bell curve seasonally every year where, you get into September, October, November, you start seeing that peak drying. We get a lot of gallons pulled out of the terminals. Prices tend to go up. And then we obviously see the peaks in January and February where those contracts really pay dividends for the folks that do book those gallons in advance. So, yeah, now is the time to be calling in, making sure that you're getting everything allocated that you need for this winter, so you don't end up, having a shortage for yourself.
Isaac Brown with a Certified Energy Specialist at Allied Cooperative. And Isaac, I've got into the habit, and I know you've been in the habit for a long time because of what you do, but I've gotten in the habit every day looking at these crude oil prices, and I see right now, like the August contract, right around $82. What does that tell us about price at the pump or contracting advantages, and what really influences that oil price? I know it's OPEC, but we are the largest producer of crude oil. It's a confusing market.
Yeah, I guess when you look at the crude oil price, that's our West Texas Intermediate price. WTI is kind of the gold standard for the global, crude market, and it's all based on the U.S. dollar. And a lot of that comes back to where we see interest rates. And when you've got interest rates that are high, that tends to lower demand. And, earlier this year we saw that kind of drop off when there was a lot of uncertainty. Now, what's happened is there is a lot of tension over in the Middle East. There has been OPEC, making somewhat empty threats of shortening their supply. So they really haven't stuck to that. But at the same time, when you add the culmination of a potential lowering of the interest rates in September here domestically, and you look at the unrest, whether it's in Gaza or Israel with the conflicts there, or, the one that's been prolonged, Russia and Ukraine, we do tend to see that those prices stay elevated. And, that has an effect on our refinery runs here because we have to export more crude oil to support, nations that are willing to pay a higher premium for it. So I think everyone's kind of seen that gas and diesel has taken an uptick. That also comes with the fact that it's July. People are out traveling. We get a lot of, demand uptick for gasoline. Basically, freight rates have gotten a little better. There is more hauling. When you see that kind of demand, that typically brings prices up.
So if you want to find out what's going on with the energy industry, contact Isaac Brown over at Allied Cooperative, Certified Energy Specialist, and the group that he works with. As you just heard, they keep an eye on it not only every day, but about every 10 minutes of every day. Isaac, thanks for the update.
Yeah, thank you much, Bob. I always appreciate it.
Isaac Brown, Certified Energy Specialist, with us today on our Allied Cooperative program. I'm Bob Bosold.